Hello everyone. Let's discuss the end-term paper of System Programming Compiler Construction for May 2015. Now see here, if you see this paper is quite theoretical paper, right? There is no numerical in this given paper. And if you compare this paper with the 2014 paper that I have already uploaded, there you see that it is a mix of theory and numericals, right? So here, you cannot simply go to the exam by preparing all the numericals or simply the theory. So you need to prepare everything in detail according to your syllabus. And here, if I talk about this paper, it is as complete theory. So you need to actually explain all the main points which are required in that particular question. Unnecessary theory is not going to give you marks. Only the required points have to be mentioned. So as you can see in section A, we have 6 questions here and 5 are to be done. Every question is of 6 marks. Now it is discussing about the different concepts of compiler. It is discussing about editor. It is discussing about pass 1 of 2 pass assembler. It is also discussing again about assembler, right? And then reallocation concept, and then about object files, static linking and dynamic linking, and comparison between the co-loader and absolute loader. So it is basically all the questions are related to your editor, assembler, and loader and linking. So all these things you need to read, and these are very easy. Once you understand the concept related to these topics, it is very easy to write. Now, talking about like this is also a very common question by students, how much you have to write. See, it's not about filling the number of pages, it's about the concept. If the concept can be explained in 1 page, that is all enough, which is required. And if it needs to be explained in 2 or 3 pages, then you have to actually explain it in detail. So it again depends on the question as well as the marks. So if this, let's say if I pick any of the question from this section A, and it is of 6 marks, so you need to elaborate it according to the 6 marks. So maximum 1 or 1.5 page or 2 pages maximum. But if it is a 10 marks question, then obviously you need to explain it into detail. So it may go up to 4 pages, right? Now coming to section B. Section B is having 3 questions, out of which you have to do 2. It is discussing about macro instructions and microprocessor that you need to explain. Again, you have to explain this concept in detail because this is a 10 marks question. Then you have to draw a block diagram of the phases of compiler, right? So first of all, you know that the compiler has 6 phases. So you simply need to put all the phases in some blocks, and then you need to just describe the flow. What is the input to a particular phase and what is the output to the particular phase of the compiler, and this way it has to be explained, and then indicate the main functions of each phase. It is worthwhile to optimize a program. Now as this is a 10 marks question, first of all you need to explain the block diagram, and then you have to explain the main functions of every phase with example, right? And then it is asking whether we need to optimize a program or not. You know that optimization phase is optional, so it is up to you. And if you want optimized code, that will require less time and it will be very handy and efficient. So obviously we should optimize our program. Now then, the ninth question is describe error handling procedure in compiler for every phase and list different types of errors seen in compiler. So again, this is a very, very easy question. Eighth and ninth question are so easy that if you have read these questions once, you can very simply, attempt these questions. So simply discussing about error and the types of error, and you need to explain all the errors with the help of the examples, right? Now, in the last, if I talk about the last section, this that is section C. This is a 20 marks question, right? So you need to explain the Unix architecture, and then you also have to explain the difference between absolute and relative file permissions in Unix. You need to explain, you have to write a shell script to find out whether the number is even or not. Again, is a very simple question. And you need to explain all these commands briefly, right? You have to write the syntax of all these commands. So this was all about the paper. And one more important point, dear students, you should always, start with section C if you know the question, right? And this section C is very, very important because you score the highest in this section only. So that was all about this paper. This was quite a theoretical paper as compared to 2014. So you need to also focus on the theoretical aspects of the subjects. So that's all. Thank you so much.